Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Come with us today. We're visiting a Dera. The Dera's name is Tapoban Dhakki Sahib in Ludhiana. We travel quite a while from Anandpur through beautiful farmlands, rich colours, and some buffaloes that's heading off to go and have a swim in the little, I think, man-created lake that you'll see coming up here on the left. For many, many, many years I've wanted to visit Tapoban Dhakki Sahib. I've heard so much about Sant Darshan Singh and his beautiful Gurdwara in the forest. I'm happy to say that today, eventually, I'm visiting Tapoban. Now, Tapo means meditation and Ban means forest. There's quite an interesting story about this Gurdwara, an area which is called a Dera, or a settlement that has been created in the forest. For centuries, villagers and normal people would refuse to enter this dense forest known as Dhakki, which is named after a tree. In 1988, Baba Darshan Singh, a Sikh Granthi, settled on the outskirts of the forest and gradually moved his way deeper and deeper into the forest, dispelling all local fears and settling up a Dera. Here, water are still pumped in the original way from wells, and also fresh water as we enter into the area is kept in clay pots, ice cold and fresh. Really a nice soother for a very, very hot Indian day. After a nice cold glass of water, we head off through the walkways of the forest, directed by various banners until we get to the camels. Here is a picture of the camels during Hula Mahalla, and here's the friendly camels, 4 of them, loose, walking free, very well taken care of. The male camel really took a liking in me, and his partner arrived shortly after, and I was allowed to pet both of them and have a bit of a chat to them. They're soft and clean, very friendly. All the animals here are human. They love humans, and they've been accustomed to being treated with total respect. Look at these two, aren't they cute? That one had flowers painted all over her. So as we leave the camels, I'm excited to see what other animals there are. I know that there's an elephant, and I hope to meet the elephant. Now we're heading off towards the Gurdwara Sahib, and we have to leave our shoes in the shoe stand. And look, there's a Sevadar waiting for us. Quite a surprise, not moving, just standing there. I tried to pet him, and I didn't. He made quite a bit of a noise. But yes, he was waiting for us very peacefully as we put down our shoes and head off towards Gurdwara Sahib. Tapoban has gained world recognition for hosting annual World Peace Day events, promoting a message of unity and universal brotherhood across all faiths. This information is available on their website. I include, as you can see, the information, Facebook, Instagram, website information is posted everywhere. And our Sevadar is still waiting in the shoe stand. Gurdwara Tapoban Dhakki Sahib is located near Maksudra village in the Ludhiana district in Punjab. This has been established in 1988. This forest is centuries old, and a lot of superstition went around this specific forest and the availability to live there. Therefore, I think Sant Darshan Singh was called to keep this forest intact and to preserve this beautiful forest, looking after birds and trees, animals, and making it an absolute haven for nature lovers and animal lovers such as myself. Here's 2 big canary nests, enough space for them to fly around, well cooled under the trees, and everywhere as we walk through the area are pots. This one's broken, but everywhere there's pots filled with water for the birds. And here we enter towards the Gurdwara Sahib. Now, everywhere there's these beautiful little huts in the traditional building style. There's a small stupa-like structure here, And then as we continue around the path, again there's a water pump which we then wash our hands and our feet from to go into the Gurdwara Sahib, which is open air Gurdwara Sahib, doesn't have walls, but what a beautiful environment. Just look at this. A beautiful carpet welcomes us to the left and the right seating area, and totally open. Guru Granth Sahib well protected, the Gara drum, and everywhere the symbolism of the old Punjabi lifestyle. Even traditional wooden shoes that I'm sure is worn by Babaji and left at the door to show people not to actually enter with shoes if they've forgotten to leave it at the shoe stand. I find a beautiful little house, and I think that's exactly where I would want to live. It's so cute. We proceed to have langar, and in the traditional way of polishing the cutlery and crockery, it's been polished by sand, and I get to experience this feeling, 3 different thicknesses and coarseness of sand, and I'm already by the 3rd one where it's really polishing, and you can see I took too much water, so everywhere in my hands are a little bit muddy. But yes, I'm getting the hang of this, washing the crockery by hand and by sand. Then afterwards I go to rinse it off and then place it for the next person to use. For us in Sikhi, it's crucially important to make sure that the crockery and the cutlery is clean for the next person to use out of respect. Here is the kitchen, which is an outdoor kitchen, open but a little bit protected from the animals. And here is a langar hall, which is also lovely situated. We had the loveliest, hottest, freshest langar here. One of the Sevadars and the Babaji catches our eye. They escort us and take us on a beautiful tour through the whole area. Here is the museum which explains the journey of Babaji from 1987, where he meditated under a rock, and then eventually he meditated for a full 40 days, no food, no water, in a mud hut, and then another year. And this is his whole journey, which was extremely interesting. What a dedicated man. That's all I can say. He's really dedicated his life to this path. I can see also on the photos that he's well respected. He's with a lot of Sangat. I know that he travels to Australia and USA from time to time, and people truly respect him. I was very sad to miss him on this trip, but I'm sure that I will meet him on the next trip. I think what originally attracted me to this ashram or dera is the love and the respect that this man has for animals, his elephants, his land, the way he respects birds. It's just unbelievable. He's actually known as the Peacock Babaji. He always meditates with all the birds, and here is a beautiful photo depicting the following as such. And there is a shorter version, and here is him with all his peacocks in a beautiful painting somebody did for him as a donation. We head off to the back area, where is a locked area, and I don't think it's really open for public at all times. This is where Babaji has meditated and where the whole journey started. These huts are beautifully situated and very well protected with the forest, so you don't see them until you arrive. And here is the exact area where Babaji started meditating in 1988. Sevadars has obviously built a beautiful big meditation hall here now, a bora, which is still being used up until today. And over the years, all the Sevadars that's been there and serviced there, gave their service there. There's some memorabilia of them left on the steps, on the sides. And here's an interesting story. In the mornings, Babaji would sit on this flat plateau, which has got another meaning as well, but he would sit here in the mornings and all the birds, the peacocks, all the birds, all the squirrels would come to him as he feeds them all. If he's not there, this ritual continues, and his sevadars do that. Now, this specific area where Babaji feeds the birds in the morning is also an old-fashioned well, where the camels or the oxen are tied to this wooden pole, and then they would walk in circles, and there the water has been pumped up. There's a little swimming pool at the back for the birds and for the animals. And all the sevadars stay in separate little huts around this area. Look at this beautiful, all the little bird nests hanging in the roof of this sacred space. Here you actually feel the peace and the serenity and the total spiritual bliss as you're standing between the forest and the trees, the beautiful nature and the environment. Here is the Nishan Sahib and a bigger house, which is a Sachkhand, where Guru Granth Sahib Ji is placed at night to rest. Our holy book is open in the day, and in the evenings we close it up in a beautiful bedroom only for Guru Granth Sahib. The sevadars, the Babaji and the sevadar, takes us through to the Nirvari horses, which is a breed used by the Nihangs, and I've seen Babaji on the white horse. They're lovely, well taken care of. There's 4 fans going at full speed, and you can actually feel it when you're standing next to them that it's quite cold and chilly, which is lovely in this extreme heat outside. All the animals are so well taken care of. It's look at these beautiful horses. They're all thoroughbred. See, there's the fans. There's 4 of these fans blowing cold and cool air on them, and the thick grass roots makes it much easier for them to stay cool. The sevadar and Babaji decide to take us to the original old house that Sant Darshan Singh built in memory of the ancient times in Punjab. There is a sugar maker, which then obviously crushes the sugar cane, and then sugar is made from there. There's a lot of old-fashioned equipment that we in the Western world have never seen. So this was quite an interesting one for me. This house is built in true Punjabi style, a true Punjabi farmhouse in the olden age. And here you can see various wheels and equipment and everywhere little bowls of water for the birds. Here's this beautiful house. Babaji is taking us inside, and it's actually cool underneath it. A very big patio, or a stoep as we would call it, a veranda around the center of the house. Look at this big pot. Yes, that's a langar pot where they cook food in for Hola Mahalla and the big events that they have. Babaji opens the door for us, and it's beautiful. Look at the detail that's gone into this, and the painting on the walls, true Punjabi style, and the roof double layered, that it is cool, and everywhere is fans. That is a thing about India. Look at this beautiful old furniture. I'll show you some more as we go around. First, let's proceed to go inside, and there's a real old-fashioned manji, which is a bed that Indian people sleep on. These cupboards blew me away. I mean, look at this. Isn't this spectacular? I want one of those in my house. They are so beautiful. And baskets for roti, the original pans to make butter in, and there's even a roof fan. Look at all the old radios. He definitely has a love for the old. The sevadar starts waving the fan that I can feel if it really works. And it's amazing. I can imagine lying on the manji and pulling the fan and relaxing under the fan in the heat. Indian summers are really extremely hot. We're pushing 47 to 50 degrees at the moment. It's not normal for us foreigners to be able to survive here. It's really very hot. And here is an interesting object which I find placed in the corner. It's like a metal cage, and when we open it, This is where the ladies used to put the butter or milk in overnight to leave it outside under the tree to stay cool and fresh through the night, but for the animals not to get into it, not to drink their milk or eat their butter. Look at this cupboard, and there's some gold-plated crockery from, I think, probably the British times in India. Look at this cupboard. I was just absolutely fascinated with it. And there's some weaving wheels on the outside, cloth weaving. Everybody in the olden days had to do every single thing themselves. You have a farm, from your clothing to your food to everything you had to prepare. There wasn't many people around at that stage, I think, or people used to live far apart. And this is an ox racing cart. So I don't know how you managed to sit and hold on onto the back of that, but yes, you'd sit there and the 2 oxen are tied up in the front and they'd have races. I'm sure he still has, because he's got 2 of these carts. And here is a camel saddle, which they use when they obviously saddle up the camels. And look at this interesting cupboard. I was amazed at this. I've even a photo of Gandhi. So this cupboard could then host you as an album and put your photos in little photo frames on your cupboard. Isn't that so amazing? And here's the outside, traditional outside kitchen. As we leave, we see the oxen cart leaving with 2 ladies as well. So it's our farewell from Dhakki Sahib. What an amazing journey I've had, an experience I've had today here. Just to give a brief overview of the teachings of this Dera, this Gurdwara actively campaigns against the caste system, superstitions, and alcohol and drug abuse, while promoting environmental protection, universal brotherhood, and the recitation of Gurbani. I would highly recommend a visit from your side, only if it is for the beautiful environment that this sant has kept sacred. Here is all the information. Do come and visit Dhakki Sahib near Ludhiana. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.